Today we're doing a Glam Beetlejuice look in honor of Beetlejuice 2 coming out. It has indeed been 36 years. The first one came out in 1988. I'm really excited to see the second one. At the time that I'm filming this, it's actually June. Hopefully it won't be a disappointment. Here's my little sketch slash mood board. The thing that I love about this look is that it's so messy, so I can really feel my way through it, but I do want to start with an even skin tone, so I'm just using some concealer. We're doing my favorite type of eye makeup, which is a super blown out purple smoky eye. I'm starting with purple colored eye primer from P. Louise, and I'm applying this around my eye and blending it out pretty far. By pretty far, I mean I'm bringing it all the way up and into my eyebrows. No hesitation, I'm going right in with the purple eyeshadow. This is from the Bunny Ellis palette. First, I'm concentrating it in my outer V and then starting to bring it through my crease, but I am carrying it down underneath my eye through my lower crease. Normally I bring it right along my lower lash line, but I really want to emphasize the eye bags with this look, so that's why I'm doing it below my lower lash line. I'm honestly just going at it with these purple eyeshadows, having a great time blending it out, adding more shades, blending that out. It does not have to be perfectly blended. It doesn't matter if you mess up. You were literally resurrected from your grave or whatever Beetlejuice was. It's a perfect opportunity to try it out, and if it doesn't come out perfect, like, it fits the look anyways. This gorgeous gel eyeliner is from Multichrome Cosmetics. It's called Haze, and I'm using this along my waterline and lower lash line. It's kind of plum colored, so it's much warmer toned than the eyeshadows that I used. I thought it would be perfect for the waterline. I really love how warmer tones make the eyes pop, especially with Halloween looks. Adding in some shimmers, I'm using the Multichrome Cosmetics Smoke Sessions 2 palette. It has some really beautiful purple tones in there. I'm highlighting my lower lid, so the area between my lower lash line and my lower crease where I added the dark purple, and then I'm also adding shimmer to my upper lid. I'm using a combination of shadows. I really could not discriminate. I wanted to use all my purple babies in this look. I also added a bit of multichrome from Lethal Cosmetics right to the center just to make it pop. And here I'm just going back in with some very dark purple eyeshadow to add some more depth to my outer V area and bringing that down underneath my eye like I did earlier. I mixed up a lighter foundation color because, I mean, my regular foundation is pretty light, but Beetlejuice has like a white kind of makeup look, so I didn't want to be completely white, but I wanted to be more pale than usual. I highly recommend Indi Cosmetics Face Base for all of your colored foundation needs. The white is perfect for using on its own, but also mixing in with other foundations. Real quick inner corner highlight. Here is where I started to go a bit rogue. I am trying to do like a nose contour situation, kind of extending from my eyeshadow. I put a lot of effort into it before realizing I actually hated it and taking it off. We're giving it another shot though. This time I'm not being as heavy-handed. I'm going in with much lighter colors and a lighter hand and easing my way into it. I'm trying to connect the contour to my eye makeup as well, so I'm kind of bringing it up into my inner corner and then shading a bit around my inner corner to really connect it to the nose contour. I still felt like I kind of hated it, but I can never tell if my nose contour is good until I set my nose with powder, because the shininess on my nose just, like, I just can't tell. After deciding that it's acceptable, I'm adding more contouring around the rest of my face. First, I'm using Blend Bunny's Bare Cheeks palette. It has the perfect light dusty mauve shade. However, if you have darker skin, I recommend this palette from Lunatick Cosmetics. This is their Volume 2 contour palette. It's more geared toward darker skin, whereas their Volume 1 is for lighter skin. Unfortunately, I lost my Volume 1 palette, so I've been using this one, and it still works out for me. I just have to apply the shades sparingly and really blend it out, but it has really, really amazing colors. I highly suggest it. After wrapping up the contouring around my jaw, I'm removing the product, whatever product it happens to be, that is moisturizing my lips so that I can go over with some foundation. I really felt like it was super necessary for my Beetlejuice to have tears, so I'm just adding those in with eyeshadow, first kind of mapping them out and then going back in with much more pigment and starting to beef them up. I'm using a random patting motion because I want it to be messy. I don't want them to be perfect little tears. I want them to be kind of smudges, smudgy type tears. I don't even know if they're tears. They might just be smudges. I'm not sure. While I'm at it, I'm adding more eyeshadow around other areas, like I'm putting it around my nostrils and carrying it down through my cupid's bow, around my mouth, doing the corners of my mouth, above my mouth, below my mouth, just adding shading around the mouth. At this point, I could not help myself. I needed to start adding some more glitter. I'm using a liquid eyeshadow from Black Moon Cosmetics and patting this around the tears and underneath my eyes. I do end up going completely insane with glitter later on, but for now I'm just satiating my craving for at least a little bit of sparkle. Finally, I'm setting the rest of my face using a mixture of powders. The Laura Mercier translucent setting powder is my holy grail, my go-to, but sometimes, especially with Halloween looks, I like to mix it with my RCMA no color powder. Partially because I don't really like to waste my Laura Mercier powder if it's like a Halloween look that I'm going to be adding a bunch of shit on top of. I quickly filled in my brows pretty much the same as I always do them. I think I used powder rather than dip brow just because I didn't want my brows to be quite as polished as they normally are. And then I'm going in and applying foundation all over my neck and chest. I'm using the same foundation mixture that I did on my face, but I'm also adding a bit of this lighter purple colored foundation. This is actually one of the first versions of Indi Beat's face base. I remember when she sent it to me, and it's just the perfect purple color for this look. It's not like available, you can't buy it, but I had to use it. Like, it has to be used. It's beautiful and amazing. But I'm sure that you can mix the same type of color using some other colored foundations and whatever your regular shade is. I'm concentrating it in my contour areas, so around my collarbones, my neck. I'm not wearing a bra right now, so the boob contour looks a little bit ridiculous, but when I put my bra on later, it will all come together. Anyways, I'm deepening my contour using one of the gray shades from the Lunatick Cosmetic Labs contour book. As you can see, I kind of just pack on a bit of the pigment and then go back in to blend it out. It helps to use my lighter contour shade, which is the blush from the Bare Cheeks palette, and use that to really buff it out. When I'm done blending, just setting everything, this time I'm using pretty much only the RCMA no color powder because I realized, like, why am I wasting my Laura Mercier translucent powder when I'm just going to be gluing moss all over myself? I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I used to think chartreuse was like a hot pink color, but no, this is chartreuse. It's a gel eyeliner from Milk Cosmetics called Afterlife. This and the purple gel eyeliner that I used earlier were actually both part of a limited edition Beetlejuice collection from Milk Cosmetics a few years ago. They recently relaunched them, not connected to the Beetlejuice name, so they are available to purchase. They are not a limited edition anymore as far as I know. I'm so excited I get to use it in a Beetlejuice look since I never got the chance before when they first launched it. I'm also using Indi Beat Cosmetics green face base for these random patches around my chest and neck. These are basically going to be like the patches of moss. I am trying really hard to make them look as random as possible. There's a reason I started on my chest because I didn't want to mess up my face makeup. Like, the chest does not matter as much as the face, so I was really kind of testing out different products to see how I wanted to do this, how I wanted to create the patches. I made an executive decision that it was extremely necessary to add in green neon pigment. I honestly cannot tell you where I got this neon pigment stack from. If you are in the market for neon pigments, I know the ones from Makeup a Murder are very popular. They come very highly recommended. My best advice for adding in these green patches is to just try to free your mind, let loose of all of the scary decisions you have to make throughout the day, and just be random with it, be free. I'm starting to add in the patches around my face. Like I did on my chest, I'm starting with the chartreuse color. Instead of going right in with green, I'm adding in some eyeshadow from the Smoke Sessions palette because I wanted it to have more of a dirty look to it. I was really feeling the grunginess, so I went in and put it around my chest and neck splotches as well. It just gives it a more detailed look without too much effort. It makes it look like more realistic, even though it's not technically based on like a real thing. Now I'm going in with the green and adding that around my face splotches. I did add some areas that I ended up not liking, and I kind of went back and put some regular foundation over it. Like I said, the great thing about a messy look is it doesn't matter if you screw anything up, because if you try to fix it and it looks messy, like, it doesn't matter. It's part of the look. But you can still kind of fix things that you don't like without it being obvious that you tried to fix it. I'm going back and forth with some of the colors. I really didn't want all of the chartreuse to be covered up, so I went and added more of that. I really think that the neon pulls it all together and gives it like a toxic look. It's like I'm Beetlejuice, I'm from the grave, but someone also might have spilled some toxic waste on me. Let me tell you, a little back and forth is a very healthy thing with makeup. I'm going back in with the darker shades and adding more depth, especially in my contoured areas. For my lips, I'm starting with Maybelline's Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Huntress, and I'm using a brush to apply this around the perimeter of my lips. Even though it was limited edition, I couldn't not use this lipstick. It's called Ghost with the Most from Melt Cosmetics Beetlejuice collection from a few years back. I'm not filling in my lips with this, I'm just applying it to the inner portion. And then using concealer to blend in that area between the two lip products. I thought this would make my teeth look super gray, but for some reason I felt like my teeth still looked pretty white, honestly. I'm adding one more lip product. This one's from MAC. It's called Varnished Reputation Lip Lacquer. It's like a muted grayish purple color. For my hair, I'm trying to give it a bit of a tease, give it some volume, make it look nice and messy. I'm using a green hairspray and I really did not want to mess up my makeup, so I got a paper plate to cover my face with, and then I realized I needed a hole to see out of, but oh my god, that's really embarrassing. You could see the gum in my mouth, but this is how it was going. I got this hairspray in PR probably 6 or 7 years ago, and I'm just now using it, and I mean, it worked pretty well. Like, it was doing what it was supposed to do, although sometimes when I sprayed it, no color was coming out, just like a smoky type thing. I don't know, chemicals, whatever. But it was really working for this look, and I really liked the neon look of it. Finally, once I'm done attempting to make my hair look green, I'm going in with my moss. I got this at Michael's, and I was not expecting it, but it was kind of stinky. To be completely honest with you. I'm using Prozaid to apply it. If you don't have Prozaid, I'm sure you can just use lash glue, though you would be using a lot of lash glue. I just went at it, ripping little chunks off of the moss. I realized later on that I preferred smaller, thinner pieces of moss. I'm inspecting it because it is real moss, so I was kind of checking to make sure there wasn't, like, I don't know, a ton of dirt or dead bugs. Like, I don't know, I was honestly looking for dead bugs. But I'm just putting it on. I'm just putting it everywhere, kind of around where I added the green splotches, but also a few stray pieces of moss here and there. With Prozaid, you want to wait until it's dried down a little bit and it becomes translucent, and that's when it's really sticky and you can put the stuff on top of it. It was quite the undertaking, and like I said, I really liked how it looked when the pieces of moss were thinner rather than kind of the thicker chunks of moss that I'm putting on my chest. Once I started adding it to my face, I realized that the thinner pieces looked better. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I've been DIYing my nails and I have been coordinating them to match with the looks that I'm filming, so I just want to throw that out there. Peep the nails. I did them myself. Very proud. Prozaid does come off with like makeup remover and stuff, so it's not too difficult to get out of your hair. I'm not being super careful around my hairline. I wouldn't say it's easy to remove out of your hair. You do have to really work it out with a makeup remover like a balm or an oil-based product, but it's not too difficult, nowhere near the difficulty of liquid latex. It's officially finishing touches time. I thought these purple hoops would just match the look perfectly. I'm also topping up my lippy because it's been a couple hours at this point probably since I applied it. I'm sure I had a snack somewhere in there, so I'm just topping that off, making it look fresh. Of course, adding some lashes. These are faux mink from Ardell. I really want to know what you think of this look because don't get it twisted. I am about to add a shitload of glitter, but I'm curious what you think of the look now versus after I add a bunch of glitter, because as usual, I have like a vision for my look, and then sometimes I get like an idea to add something, but I don't want to add it until the end because I don't want to ruin the look. Usually that thing that I add at the end is an immense amount of glitter. So let's get into that. I'm using 2 glitter gels from Melt Cosmetics. This first one is just going under my eyes. It's called Wisteria. It has a dark purple base, so I couldn't really use it anywhere else. This next glitter is called Boomslang. It matches the look perfectly. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better matching glitter. It's from the Bailey Sarian Melt Cosmetics collab collection. I really hope that they keep it around and don't discontinue it. I am adding this pretty much everywhere. Like, I started in the areas where I had the moss, and then I was just like, why not add it to more places? So I just kept going and adding more and more and more. I didn't want there to be any bare areas that really stood out, so I even added some to my nose, which I never highlight my nose usually, but I did add some to my nose, and also other places that I thought would really catch the light. Of course, what goes on the face goes on the chest, so I'm adding it all over my chest and neck too. I don't know, I think it really pulled everything together. I like having the opportunity to look at it before and after the glitter and kind of compare the two. Aesthetically, I think I like the look better with the glitter, but if I was wearing this out to a party, I would probably skip the glitter or just add much less of it because, like, sensory issues, I don't love the feeling of glitter on my skin and stuff. It kind of gets on my nerves. But I think it looks amazing, and if you can handle that, you know, go crazy with it. I added a little bit of highlight from Blend Bunny's highlight palette in some of the bare patches just because I didn't want them to look too bare. I'd really love to know what you think, if you prefer it after adding all the glitter or before. I really think the glitter just makes it. Obviously, it's a little bit more uncomfortable and a little bit more annoying to remove, but it might be worth it. Thanks for watching all the way through. I really appreciate it. I love you so much. I'll see you in the next video.